Heyo, log 46.0. Time is 12:10 a.m. Saturday, 3rd of June, UK time. Um, Talked to a buddy earlier about going clubbing. Actually, I texted him. I rarely reach out to anybody. In fact, I can't think of the last time I did. But early today, went and got a haircut, and it's like long days here in the UK. So it's like bright out, even at like 7:38. And so I was walking back at 8. And I felt the buzz, around. London's a very different city in the summer, I feel like, when the sun's out. Um, and I just said, people always give me shit for not like reaching out. And then he actually reached out to me last weekend to hang out. And I just completely ignored him, really rude, right? So this was my kind of getting back to him sort of thing, getting him back. So, hey, man, trying to go clubbing or something tonight? I kind of feel the calling. Um, and then he didn't get back to me until like I don't know, maybe about an hour ago, and like apologized or whatnot about not getting back to me. He's with his other friends, but they are going clubbing. He invited me out. So we're gonna be there like a little more than an hour ago. He hit me up actually. So I'm gonna be there at like 12:30. Sound like 12:10. Said where? It's not far. Place called Heaven, I guess. Said asked where exactly. Place called Heaven. And like, we're gonna see if we can get in. And I said, okay. I didn't say I would meet him there. I didn't say I wouldn't. It was more like, okay, got it. Yep, understood. 12:30. Okay, got it. Cool. So we'll see if he calls me, right, while I'm doing this. And maybe I will meet up with him. I mean, that place is open till 4, so still a possibility, but kind of unlikely. We'll see. Really wanted to do one of these though. So that to me is the priority. And a lot to touch on, right? Which is why. Some of which I won't go into, but definitely want to kind of bookmark, life mark for myself. If that makes sense. So, since I last did one of these, I've turned 35. Now old enough to be president. Um, and but in the week leading up to turning 35, I wasn't like as not, well, let me get through the whole story, but like I wasn't as depressed as I usually am leading up to my birthday this time around, right? I think part of that was, helped by the fact that I made this like commit with my team that, at the end of the month, I would get off of all these customer calls. So it represented kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel for me. And I began to kind of put on my, manager hat, right? And think about all the things I'm going to do, once I'm free of these calls to be more of a manager. And that was in some way kind of, kind of like a rejuvenation of sorts, right? Only as of now, as of today, am I officially off of all those customer calls. Now it's just like one customer that has multiple calls that I'm still on. And then, of course, I'll come in and out of the others, but at least I'm not the one having to start the call, lead the call, always join the call anymore on a lot of these. But in that week, right? I think it was like a Tuesday or something. I got this big news, right? Like big news, let's just say, right? Not good news either, right? And this news like threw me for a loop, and I can't share this. This is not my news to share, right? Definitely affects my life, right? And I guess this is where a diary really matters, not one of these, right? But big news, not good news sort of thing. And it just threw me for a loop, man, because I was, I've been feeling like, okay, now coming to, point in my life with the company, and they're also interwoven, right? Now things are about to, get better. We just got money, finished the recap. I now have headcount, right? I even have, budget for additional headcount kind of thing. And now it's just a matter, I can begin to get off customer calls, and things are just about to get better. I can begin to have a life, right? Even one of my SCs joked with me on a one-on-one. I was like, it's like, now what are you going to do with your life? I'm like, yeah, this is maybe what I'm feeling good thinking about, right? It's already got me re-energized just thinking about getting off these calls. Hasn't even yet happened. And it threw me for a loop. I was like, oh my God, man, just when I thought things were gonna get easier or better. And I realized there'll always be new challenges. I didn't think like all of a sudden things get easier, but like just such a huge new challenge, right? I got nothing more to give. I got nothing. It's not supposed to get harder than ever all of a sudden, actually, right? And there's different types of hard, right? I need to stop saying right all the time. That is a bad, what is it called? Like habit? I mean, not habit, but like it's not tick either. Like people always say like, I do both of those too, but the right thing, I need to kind of quit. Um, and everything I cited there, just now, as far as like how it affected me, is on a very selfish level, right? There was also like an empathetic level of, oh my God, like I feel so bad type thing at play as well, right? Um, but I can't talk too much about it, of course, right? So I won't. Let's just say it threw me. Um, and then let's just like fast forward a few days of me like reeling and just not handling the news especially well, right? um and my mom and my dad, I think those the extent of it, heard kind of where I was feeling and all that stuff, right? Right. But then comes Friday. So there is on Friday, the Thursday, let's say, first of all, this girl that was going to let go, but extended her probationary period, and then she quit shortly after we extended her probationary period. And her last day was Friday, and we're going to do an exit interview. I'm just going to hand over the computer, all that stuff. On Thursday, kind of end of the day, she asked if we were scheduled to meet at the Canary Wharf location, which is our de facto kind of office where everyone regularly goes to meet up. And when we do meet up, that's where we meet up. In fact, we plan to get a little office there soon. So that said, she said, that's kind of far for me. Can we meet at like we work in like Central London instead? I was like, the gall to ask that when clearly that is our de facto office. I'm a little upset by. It was a little really upsetting, off-putting. And I wanted to go into the office because I figured people would be there that Friday. I didn't know for sure though. But I said, okay. I said, fine, we can meet at this. We work near King's Cross, which is closer to me. So technically, I guess it's more convenient for me as well, I suppose. But ultimately, I really resented it, and I really wanted to go into that Canary Wharf instead office. And turns out that Friday, the whole product team was there, and I missed out on the opportunity of being kind of in that with them, there with them. And so whatever, though, end of day of Friday, 5 o'clock, we scheduled to meet at 5 at that WeWork. I just head on over, right? Day's pretty much done, right? So I don't bring my computer or anything, but I do bring my bag just to put her computer in my bag and bring back, basically. So didn't pack up my computer, nothing like that. So just the bag basically to put her computer in. And then I'm heading over that way. And then one of former coworkers get in touch. We're talking and we said, let's meet up. So let's meet up here. I'm doing this exit interview here in King's Cross. Let's meet up here. It should be done by 6:30 or so. And then right now I gotta go do this exit interview, but I'll check my phone after and let me know. So also I want to cite this thing too. You have to do something nice, right? You're trying to be nice and you end up resenting yourself. Like you get angry at them kind of for asking for the favor of meeting up there. And it's such a small thing, but still is a thing, became a thing, that kind of thing. You do something nice for someone, then you kind of resent them, and then worse, you kind of upset yourself. Why the fuck did I even say yes to that? I should have been like, no, Canary Wharf is our office. Let's meet there. I don't care how it takes, how long of a travel it is for you. Like, you're not doing any work that day anyways, right? Just make your way. I'll meet you there. I'm planning to be there all day anyways, right? For other reasons, there's plenty of reasons, things I could have said to just say no and then be more content with the situation of sorts. this is the smallest part of the story. This is not even really the story, right? This is the preface. This is the lead up, I suppose. So go have the exit interview with her. All good, fine. Get a computer, put it in my bag, say goodbye. We don't even have to talk about necessarily what was discussed, right? That, yeah, whatever, right? Then check my phone, see the former coworker who's just in town for like the weekend. Actually said, yeah, I'm free. Let's meet up. I'll see you soon. I'm like, oh, perfect. Okay. So go meet up with him, do dinner, talk. It's great. I haven't actually, ever just hung out with him outside of work like that. One of the things we talked about was like what he's been up to. He's not working yet. He's taking courses, kind of building his, he's young, right? And said he was going through like a midlife crisis. I mean, no, there's a real phrase for that, at least in my community, amongst my friends, from my experience of like quarter life crisis, because you're 25. You like that phrase? I think I remember liking it too. I think it really resonates. I think it's really a thing. But I think he's also positive in a way as well, as far as like he's doing this, that, kind of exploring hobbies, traveling. He was from this weekend, he was going to go to like Lithuania to see Rammstein. And then he was telling me then he's going to go to Lisbon and see that. That's crazy, man. I mean, that's such an insane live act. Like, that's awesome. Long story short, on that topic, like, what, only what, 5 days later or whatever, I said to him, I was like, dude, I'd love to go to that. Like, I'm gonna try and get a ticket and I'll see you in Lisbon. This guy went and bought me a ticket to the concert, right? Obviously, I gotta buy the ticket to get to Lisbon, no problem, right? But I was blown away that he went and bought me a ticket to this Rammstein concert. I mean, that's insane. I mean, what a heart, right? And I'm excited to go. I'm definitely gonna go. He's asked me if I decide if I'm going. I've been so rude. I haven't responded to him yet. Yes, I'm going. I just got to book the flight and confirm and whatnot with him, right? But that's an automatic to me. And another thing I need to do, I have to vacation, of course. I need to. And Turkey's a must for me. It's really my sacred space that recharges me unlike anything. It's really kind of magical. But I also need to go somewhere different, try something new. I mean, I haven't even taken advantage of living in Europe, really, with the exception of a few business trips where, the on-site was Friday and I stayed through Saturday, right? And saw a little bit more of the area on my own time, that Saturday before taking a flight back, basically. Mallorca with on-site with a customer there, for instance. Amsterdam, example, again, a couple of times, twice. But no, I need to really take a proper, kind of adventure trip, not just go to my safe space, right? Actually take a little adventure, take advantage of being on Europe's doorstep. So that'll be it. Lisbon is it. There's a Rammstein concert right there anchoring it. I'm excited for it. Again, digressing from the story. So we wrap up, right? And I invite him over. I didn't expect him to accept, but I invited him and he said, no, it's okay, right? Okay, cool. So now I'm heading back to my spot. Only as I'm walking up to the door do I realize I don't have my fucking keys. Right? Okay. So I can't even get in through the front door. I'm in a top flat, right? It's maybe 5 levels or whatever. I'm in the top flat, but there's the entry door I can't even get into now to begin with. Fortunately, because I've locked myself out before and had to get a locksmith to come through and drill into my door and replace my lock and rip me off for like 800 pounds, fucking ridiculous. I mean, I know I got ripped off, but whatever, right? Before, I know now or knew from there. And actually, at that time, I only had one key. The landlord only left me with one key. But when I got this locksmith to come through or whatever, obviously I came away with it, as you should, with 2 fucking keys. And these are like weird, like these are like sophisticated keys, like it's a magnet in it or something, a magnetic key or whatever, right? But now at least I have 2. So now that I have 2, what I do is I tape the secondary key. There's a little mailbox at my door. Once you get into the apartment, you go up to the floor, and then on my door, there's a little mailbox, letterbox, or whatever, and I tape the extra key there, right? And this has already saved me now 3 times, I think. So it's worked out really well. So all I really got to do is like, fuck, this sucks. All I got to do is find some way to get into the apartment, get up to the 5th floor, and put my hand in a little letter box or letter or whatever, and get that key that's taped right there. So wait, I smoke a cigarette, wait, just out of courtesy, hoping that somebody will come in or come out and I can just slip through. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to buzz all the apartments until somebody answers and lets me in. So I'm waiting, nobody's coming or going. So now I got to buzz, and I step back and like I look at all the, windows, everybody's dark. There's a few ones with their lights on, but a lot of people are out. It's Friday night, it's like 10:30. A buzz, nobody answers. Buzz. I think maybe the 4th or 5th one I finally buzz. Probably more than that, to be honest. It was quite a while finding somebody to even answer. Somebody finally answers. I say, hey, I left my keys, but I'm a resident here. Can you just let me in? They're like, what apartment? I'm like, 28. Okay, flat, they say, right? But it's also kind of queer probably for them, because they're like, well, if you locked your keys, how are you even going to get in once you get in? But nobody really questions it. But they probably wonder as well. Who knows, right? At least she let me in. So now I'm in. So now I'm walking up. I'm like, all right, this is all I just got to do is not fuck this up, right? Not like, go for the key and accidentally slip onto the other side of the door. That's all I got to, not fuck up. And go up and, reach in, and I fuck it up. So what the original thing I fucked up, right, is that the last time I taped the key to the thing and used it, I just went and rather than replace the tape, I just used the same tape, but it lost some of its adhesiveness as a result. So that was my first fuck up, is the last time I needed this, I just, okay, got it. Yeah, and then I'll use the same tape rather than going and get new tape. But because I used the same tape, lost adhesive, the moment I kind of touched it even, it just fell off into the other side. Fuck. No, like I'm really fucked, right? Also, my phone is dead. I forgot to mention. So my phone is dead. And I don't have any way to charge it. I don't have like a adapter, power bank or whatever in my bag, or that's stupid of me too. I was looking for it before I left and couldn't find it, right? And I was like, where the fuck did I put it? Whatever. I just got to go. I'm just jumping out to get that computer and coming back. The only reason I'm even taking my backpack is to put this other person's computer in it. But I was looking for it before I left. And I'm fucked, bro. I have no phone. My phone is dead. No way of charging it. And my key is now my one little like safety, thing I've given myself is I fucked up. The key's now sitting on the other side of the door. Okay. So the only option I now have is like, well, there is a couple of options. Let's walk them through. But the first obvious option is my neighbor. If my neighbor's in, what I can do is have her let me in, and I can go around onto her balcony and hop from her balcony to my balcony. Cool. And mind you, the first time this happened, and I got the whole locksmith thing, I spent like an hour waiting, right? And there was some work I really had to do. There was something, I forget what, and now it doesn't even really matter, right? But at the time, I remember I need to get back to my computer, like right now, fuck. I need to get back right now. But I still waited like an hour, and then I was just hoping the neighbor would show up, and she didn't show up. And then, I called a locksmith. An hour later, the locksmith finally shows up. Then they're like, oh, this is a serious lock, right? Okay, we're gonna have, and now they're drilling, and they're drilling, and they're just fucking destroying it, and then now putting in a new one. And just as they're handing me the bill, she walks up. I'm like, fuck. First of all, the bill, fuck, bro, you are fucking robbing me right now. Second of all, she walks up, and granted, that's 3 hours later, she finally shows up. But if I just sat there 3 hours and waited, I could have saved myself, what, 800 pounds or whatever it was. What was $800? Did I translate in dollars in my head? I don't remember. I think it was 800 pounds, bro. But whatever, right? So that killed me. So I was like, okay, well, first of all, I can't even call a locksmith right now because I don't have any fucking phone. But what, God forbid, I call locksmith again, shell another 800, and she shows up, right as they're drilling into my door once more. So I'm like, fuck the locksmith option, man. And right now it's not an option anyway. So I knock on her door, I know it's 10:30 or whatever. I do the polite, kind of more meek knock, right? Knock again, and then just get knock louder, right? Now I'm being kind of aggressive knock, like this is an emergency, honestly. Like if you're there, you need to get the fuck out of bed or off your couch or wherever and answer this door, please. But no answer. Pretty sure she's not there. She doesn't seem like the type to just like ignore like that. So now what do I do? So now I'm like, okay, what other way? I'm on the top floor, so let me look to the roof, right? Because if I can get to the roof, I can get up on the, if I can get up on the roof, I can get down to my balcony. And there's two, one is a fire exit up, but the fire exit up is padlocked, locked with bars and padlocked. I'm like, what kind of fucking fire exit is that, bro? Like, that seems like, fuck that. Then the other one is like, there's a skylight, but the skylight is so far up that there's no way for me to get to it. I can't climb, there's nothing, right? I need like a ladder or something. And even if I have a ladder or whatnot, I don't know that I can get, the skylight will even open up once I get to it. So there is no other option, man. I can't call anybody. I don't have my computer. If I had my computer, then what I could do is I'm just on the other side of my door, access my Wi-Fi, but I left my computer in the place. What else? The key is just on the other side of the door. Maybe some string and a magnet, but the key is so much of it's like plastic. I don't even know, and it's pretty heavy key. I don't even know magnet string. I don't even have fucking magnet, right? Other thing is, well, maybe I can get under the door, right? Maybe I can get under the door and like bring it in, but the keys, the plastic piece again is so thick that it's not going to come, even if I find it, even if I can get under, it's not going to come through. So I just sit down on the ground and I'm just gonna wait here for hopefully my neighbor to return. So I lay down, put my backpack on, lay down, and I'm just kind of there, waiting. Now I'm falling asleep. Now I'm fucking cold. Okay, let me look into my bag. Ironically, in my bag, I have this thing. So before I moved out here, right, when I was going through all this legal shit, I got this real fixation with having like, I think a bug out bag, right? Or like just all my little things that if I needed to like run away, escape the law, fuck off to Turkey or travel the world or whatever it is, I have all the little things I need. Spent all this time, it was like a hobby, man. All this time, like buying these little things, like a little spork, titanium spork, a little titanium cup thing that I could also turn into, could cook, on it. Little thing like now it all sounds very campy type, but like a little thing that like I could open and then light on fire and it'd be like a little stove or whatever. A towel that like would double as like a blanket, right? So like a microfiber towel, like a very thin towel that actually is very absorbent. It does feel weird to putting it on you, feels a little weird, but very absorbent, very lightweight, very thin, and also can double as a towel, as a blanket. And all these other little things, little pen, my little space pen, all the little things, that little notebook, all these things I could think that, in my, whatever, right? And even like clothing items and stuff like this is the, good waterproof jacket, very thin, very lightweight. I can plug it in. That's my, that's my kind of windbreaker, right? Rainproof windbreaker. Not rainproof, but like very, very water resistant, right? And all these other things. So in there though is stored away in one like pocket it's been in since it was bought, right in the backpack. Is there. I pull that out and because I'm fucking freezing now, and I bring it over me, and it actually helps. I'm like, okay, wow, this was a good buy after all. I'm happy. I didn't think I'd be using it sitting in a hallway, 2 days before my 35th birthday. And this hallway is like grody, right? It's not, I don't live in a nice apartment building with like, nice carpeted floors or whatever. This is like linoleum bullshit, like looks dirty, is kind of sticky, right? I don't know, like just gross. And I'm incredibly thirsty. Like I didn't have any water bottle in my bag. All the things I typically bring in my bag, I didn't, and I was really dumb. I'm just bringing this right now to just go put a computer in and come back. And I'm incredibly thirsty, right? I'm like, this is painful. Like it's painful in my throat because I was just had dinner and I drank too, and I don't know, it's just fucking cold and fucking thirsty, bro. But I was able to fall asleep. I mean, one of my superpowers, I suppose, is I can just fall asleep just about anywhere, right? So this worked out. I mean, I fell asleep. I didn't wake up till 8 a.m. I got a good 8 hours sleep. Shit. Like fuck. And at no point did the neighbor show up, which was, the hopeful objective of just, putting myself there. But also I had no other option. Where am I gonna go? I don't have a phone, nothing, right? I guess the only other option, I could have left and just found a hotel or a motel, but I didn't even know where the nearest hotel motel was. Now I do. And of course I knew there would be some around King's Cross, but I didn't know exactly where. It would be walk and go and try and figure out without a phone where there's a hotel motel. I was like, fuck it. I can sleep wherever. I'll just sleep here, save myself some money there. And the neighbor may appear. She may just be out for a Friday night. Lo and behold, no show. So that was 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. I sit there at 30, a little bit after 8, and I just say, okay, let me just knock again. Is she there? Maybe she ignored me. Just one last gasp. Who knows? Maybe she came in while I was, dead to the world, asleep in the hallway. Who knows, right? But nope, not there. Still not there. Okay, fuck. All right, well, now we got a couple options. One is go charge my phone, call locksmith. One is get some string, get a magnet, try that string and magnet theory. The other is maybe a ladder to get through that one skylight, not the fire escape. But either which way, I just gotta get out of here. I'm gonna need a piss and shit pretty soon. Do my morning libations, and I need to get my phone charged. So gotta head to a coffee shop. So I head to this Costas coffee shop that I've actually always walked by but never been into. And they have a nice like couch actually set up. No one's really there. I'm the first one there, I think. I think there was one other person there. It wasn't that early, but like it was, pretty sparse, right? So I situate myself on the couch, the prime location. And part of the problem with my phone, the reason it's dying is that it is not holding charge. I need to get a new one, and it is taking very long to charge. And when I do charge, I kind of have to hold it or make sure that it's in just right and balanced just right so that it, actually charges. So I don't wake up in the morning and it's at fucking 1% when I thought I was charging all night. But also means if I'm like charging it and trying to use it, like it's, liable to not be taking the charge while I'm using it. And I don't realize, so I gotta keep a hold of it and kind of use it, like hold it and use it. Like, anyways, it's a bitch. I got a fix for that like this weekend actually. So by the way, I'm there charging my phone, get something to eat, get a coffee, whatever. Charging my phone. It's taking 2 hours, it's like 2.5 hours before my phone finally charges in full. And I'm not ready to leave until I have a full charge. It's like it'd be foolish for me to leave until I have a full charge. I don't even know how the rest of the day is going to fucking play out. Let me just get to fucking a full charge, and I'm comfortable here on the couch. And yes, it's taking forever, but let's just get it done. And I look up places where I could like find a ladder, right? Apparently it's the one just down the street, like no far at all. And in this 2.5 hours, about like 2 hours in or whatever, let's say actually 2.5 hours right at the end, I was like, okay, I need to take a shit actually before I make this move to go fucking find a ladder, bro. And go and take a shit. And as I'm shitting, or done shitting rather, I realized I got no fucking toilet paper. Another fucking thing, bro. Like, what the fuck is happening? This is fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, what the fuck? And I was sitting there, I'm just thinking, like, there's this sink right here. So I'm literally looking at my hand, like thinking, dude, like I've never wiped my ass with my hand in my life. I know they do that in the Middle East and elsewhere in the third world. They just wash their hand and use their left hand. And I get all that, but I never have. And there's no paper towel either. It's all just that blower bullshit. Fuck that shit, man. Well, how you not gonna have paper towel option? How are you not gonna have toilet paper, first of all? Oh my fucking God. So now my backpack's hanging from the door. So I get up, waddle over, get my backpack. Is there anything in my backpack here that can save me, right? Definitely not that towel blanket. I'm not gonna wipe my ass for that shit. That shit treated me too right. That's not on the table. It did cross my mind though. Right? That's not on the table. No, bro. I'd rather wipe my hand with my ass than dirty that towel that like kept me warm overnight and have to go clean that. Fuck that. And fortunately, in my bag, hidden like some pocket is like some leftover like face masks, like the actual like medical face masks that we had from like the pandemic era. And end up wiping my ass with a face mask, but it worked, thank God. And now I'm out of there. And as I'm leaving, like some ladies at the door waiting for me, I'm sure, waiting. I'm like, dude, there's no toilet paper in there. Like, she's okay. Like, really? Okay. And I tell the people on the way out, hey, there's no toilet paper in there. Like, oh, we were so busy. I'm like, no, you weren't. I've been here for 2.5 hours. I know you guys weren't so busy. That shit's unforgivable, bro. You can't not have toilet paper in the fucking bathroom, dude. That's fucking dirty, man. Like, that's just doing people so dirty, dude. Anyways, phone charge. I'm out of the fucking coffee shop. Head on down to what's it called? Like hardware store to try and find a ladder. And what I need is not a ladder. I don't know if they even call A ladders, but I think people know what I mean. It's just like a standard A ladder. It's not going to work. That shit's way too high. I need one of these, right? On the extended ones. That it's sketch to even think about. I'm just even though I'm going and looking for the ladder, the whole time I'm looking for this ladder, I'm like, God forbid it all collapses under me or whatnot, right? Like I've never used one of those. Always use just those like A ladder types. And find one, right? So now I got one. 90 pounds, but whatever. That's less than 800 pounds for locksmith. And put it on my arm, and now I'm trekking home with a ladder. Now I get back to the apartment. I gotta wait for somebody to come in or come out, or if I courtesy wait. And if I've waited long enough and no one's come in or out, I'm gonna do what I did before and just buzz every fucking button until somebody answers and lets me in. Fortunately, somebody comes in, and as they're coming in, right, I'm sneaking right in behind them, right? The ladder I kind of put to the side. I don't want to be standing there with a ladder waiting for somebody to come in or out just so I can get in. But as they go in, I'm like, okay, right behind them, I shove open the door, let me go get the ladder, and then run in with the ladder behind them, right? And it's a big ladder, bro. It's not a small thing. And make my way upstairs with the ladder. Now it's all covered in plastic, and it has these like cords. I don't know what this is called, but like these flat plastic cords around it tight, right? I can peel away the plastic, no problem, but the cords, I cannot rip that shit open, right? It's so tight, it's taut, and strong, and by design, you're not supposed to be able to just like rip it. Fuck, bro. I can't even get this ladder open. I can't even get to the ladder. Fuck. It has all these cords around it. 1, 2, 3, and then even around like the instructions. And within the instructions, there is the little pieces that you need to like whatever put into it to make it not collapse on you. Fuck, right? Okay. Well, I have a lighter. Thank God I'm a smoker, right? So I'm just sitting there burning it. Boop, snap. New cord. Boop, snap. Thank God, right? So this is work. Okay. Got it. Now I never read instructions. I never read instructions. Now I'm actually reading instructions, right? So I'm opening the instructions, reading it. It's not too complicated, right? It's just a couple of things I need to do. I need to put on these like stoppers at the bottom. I need to put in these like pins, right, to ensure that it doesn't all come crashing down. And then I need to make sure that when I extend it, there's this little latch. Just got to push this latch up from the bottom and this latch from the top. Okay, got it. Put it all together. Oh, now let's do this, right? So it is probably, I would say 10-foot high ceiling, right? I don't know how high exactly, but 10-foot high. But then it is beyond the 10 feet, right? So it is a sky that's recessed into the roof. So I would say, I don't know, it was easily probably like 14, 16 feet up, right? I would say. So I am, now putting the ladder up, and it's got into like this recession it's in, right? And then now I'm climbing up, and I'm realizing that, well, even before I get up, I'm realizing, oh, damn, that's pretty, even though I got the biggest ladder, longest ladder I could get, that's still pretty far from that skylight. I'm gonna have to go to the very top rung. So I have very top rung, and now I have to check to see if the skylight opens. All this, and the skylight could not open, could not be openable. And I'm back to waiting for my neighbor, fucking calling a locksmith. So I get to the top, and if I was like even half a foot shorter, I don't think I would have been able to do what I did. But long story short, latch opens up. Oh my God, thank you. So open up the skylight, but there's no like hydraulic to it, right? So it's like, it's coming down constantly on me, right? So, okay, now I'm climbing up, and I'm squeezing myself through, and the skylight is now on my head, right? Now my neck is, and I'm pulling myself up, and I have to, there's a point where my feet are away from the ladder, right? Just to get myself up, right? And of course, that's the scariest moment, because if I slip or something, right, like I'm in midair, right, at this point, 16 feet up or whatever, right? But it may be. And I'm pulling myself up through a skylight that's just like now dragging down my back, and blah blah blah. And I get over, and I'm on the roof. Fuck yes! Oh my God, that moment right there, that actually felt the best, even better than anything that ensued, was that moment right there when I actually got up on the fucking roof. I will not be denied, right? I've been on every roof of every place I've ever lived, bro. This was like the time. I've been here 3 years. How did I not make it to the roof? It's because of this bullshit they made to like prevent me from accessing it, right? But I will not be denied. I'll make it to the fucking roof one way or another. So now I'm on the roof, and now I gotta jump down from the roof to my balcony. It's a bigger jump than I thought it was, but no problem. Balcony opens, I'm in. Mission accomplished, right? Fucking yes, right? Go out, get my backpack, collapse the ladder, put the ladder in the hallway where it's still. I could just go return it, but actually, you know what? That's my insurance policy. I'm gonna keep that fucking ladder right where it is. But if it fucking happens again, I got my fucking ladder. I don't need to go get one again. 90 pounds, yeah, I could go save 90 pounds by just returning it, but it did me right. I'm not gonna keep it for now, at least. If I move from this place, I'm not fucking taking it with me anywhere. I'll leave it in the apartment for innovative soul if they see it. Desperate soul may need it too, but actually it won't work for anyone else unless you're on the top floor. Getting to the roof is not going to help you. Yeah, but anyways, and then I'm in, and now it's probably 1 p.m. It's like 1 p.m. or so, and the night before I was especially pissed because I was like, oh, I'm gonna call my family friend. I feel good. I felt good coming after that dinner with that guy. I was like, when I get home, I'm gonna charge my phone. I'm gonna hit her up. I'm gonna tell her, hey, you free tomorrow for me to come down to Brighton, right? I'm happy, let's do it, right? Now all that's a wash, right? Obviously, I didn't get a chance to tell her the night before. Now I'm also fucking exhausted, and this a wash. I'm going to bed. Even though I got 8 hours of sleep, like on the floor, like I'm fucking exhausted, bro. Like I'm going to bed. I'm calling it a weekend. I'm not even trying to do anything tomorrow either. Fuck it. Done enough for the week. But that whole story, even though I didn't tell it very like compellingly this time around, is it really snapped me out of this helplessness I felt like earlier in the week about this news that I got. And it just reminded me, like, you just got to be like resourceful and resilient. And these are like values I've always, kind of put up as important to me. You just got to take it one step at a time, and who knows how it'll work out. At no point there did I have the whole thing fucking planned out, man. Like, I didn't know if the skylight was going to open. I didn't know if the ladder was going to reach. I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull myself up. Or I don't know if I was even going to I wasn't even sure that I wasn't going to kill myself. In fact, in my mind, I said, dude, I don't even care if I kill myself right now. I'm not fucking calling a locksmith, right? Like I will die. And I was just pissed off sort of thing too. I don't even care if I die. I'm doing this. I'm going for it. Fuck it, right? And that's kind of maybe how you gotta have to be about things in life, right? Is like, I don't even care if this kills me. This is what I decided I'm gonna do. This is the path I've picked. And if that skylight doesn't open, fuck it, then fine, I'll call the locksmith, right? Um, if I break a leg, fuck it, right? Like I wasn't trying to call that locksmith, like, or any locksmith. Try to handle it myself or see what is it. I actually come out, I felt like a kid again, like it's been a while since I've done something like that, but I used to do things like that all the time, right? Like breaking into Miller. We just figured that out when we were on the roof of Miller. It wasn't even me to figure out. It was Tom Yagi, like mad credit, like just checked to see that this window opened, saw the window opened. And from there on out, we were hitting up Miller roof and getting into Miller gymnasium and getting to Miller like band room and, in the Miller, cafeteria and everything. I mean, that was our, weekend thing. So many people we introduced it to. I mean, we didn't introduce going on the Miller roof to people, but no one else got into, the gymnasium, cafeteria, band room. And we were playing with all the band equipment. We were fucking getting all the free, cafeteria stuff, right? We were on the theater stage, right? Like sleeping overnight in Miller Auditorium. I mean, like, we were, sticking out at night, finding sinks just left out in front of somebody's house and taking the sink to the roof and throwing the sink off the roof just to watch the porcelain shatter. I mean, that's a little more destructive and not as cool as like, all the other stuff we did. But like, I don't know, that's one example of, an example. There's been countless in my life, things like that. And it's been a while since I don't know, just it's a little adventure, right? And it snapped me out in a way that I really needed. So I think it was godsend also, a godsend of sorts. So thank you, God, I guess. Thank you, universe. It's exactly, I suppose, what I needed. Who could have thought? Who would have thought? I mean, there was initially that moment of I'm about to turn 35 and I'm sleeping on my fucking hallway with a fucking microfiber towel blanket. Uh, you know, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And even all that ensued, the going and getting the ladder, the wiping my ass with a face mask, right? Like all that, is like, what, you're fucking 35, bro. What the fuck are you doing? Or about to be. At the time I wasn't. But ironically, at the same time, it's kind of exactly what I needed. I don't know. And on that roof, bro. I will not be denied. That phrase did not go through my head. I will not be denied. That's just me now recounting, kind of, joking. But yeah, man. And then getting in and being like, fuck you all, fuck it all. Fuck you, but thank you too, right? I mean, it was a lot of fuck you in the lead up, and then at the end it was kind of more of a thank you, but it was like, thank God for this, like trial and tribulation, right? And the weekend before my birthday in some weird way. I'm actually not sure what tribulation means, but yeah. I mean, I know the connotation, I know what it like implies, but I actually know the real definition. But anyways, snap me out. Then coming out of that, then of course it was my birthday on Monday, all that. Okay, didn't do anything for my birthday aside from like deliver a computer to a new hire in Canary Wharf on Monday. That was the other thing that pissed me off about her wanting to meet up at this other one, is that if we had met up in the Canary Wharf on Friday, then I could have given the computer to the girl that needed it. That's a new hire on Friday instead of on Monday. I don't think nobody asked me for the computer until, well, whatever, right? But that was frustrating too. Monday, my birthday, don't do anything, but a lot of people reach out. It's always good on your birthday. As people come out of the woodwork. It's really nice, right? And talking to people and stuff and catching up with friends. And I don't know. Yeah, even if I don't do anything on your birthday, I can still, for me, that doesn't cause any kind of like self-pity or depression. I got enough satisfaction just out of like seeing who hit me up, and yeah, some people come out of the woodwork. It's nice. And then Tuesday we did a company event, which was cool. And then later that week, we had this big news that we won. We were the selected vendor. We were in this like very competitive kind of deal for All Saints. And the whole company was in, like, I feel like the whole company kind of got pulled into, this big build-up to demo this thing to kind of win the deal in a very competitive scenario. And I kind of worried actually at one point that like, not that I thought we would lose, because we were very good at what we do, and our CEO is amazing, and if he's taking ownership and driving it, I'm sure we're gonna impress and succeed. But you never know, right? What reasons somebody may pick another vendor. So I was concerned though that if we didn't win, it would be really depressing for the company, because so many got involved. It became such a high profile competitive thing. Yes, it'd be great if we win, because it's like, oh, everyone pulled together and we won. But if we didn't get selected, it could be a real gut shot, you know? But then we got selected, so hey, win, right? And that's be a great iconic brand. That's a great iconic brand for us. It's really just, we have a lot of good brands, but that one in particular, there's something about it that just, I feel like, maps to us so well, and it's just such a great kind of potential fit, just in terms of how I see the brand. We'll see. I haven't even worked with them yet. We'll see how they actually are, but like in terms of image, I suppose, I don't know. Innovative, edgy. London also. Premium, global. It's us. Innovative, edgy, premium, global. London. So that was cool. Where am I going with this though from here? There was something else I wanted to really kind of touch on here, but then that week, not this week, but last week, I actually introduced to my team a couple of things. One of which was like a buddy system, because what was happening was that a lot of people were coming to me with all sorts of kinds of questions. Some of these questions from like the solutions engineers, for instance, I'm actually very flattered by, that they would think I'm so technical that I could answer some of these, right? I didn't even say that to them. I'm really flattered with some of the questions you asked me, but like, it's kind of a waste of time asking me, honestly. So what I did is I implemented a buddy system, and I said, hey guys, like if there's ever kind of a question that you have, and it could be any little small thing. I mean, this is the point of the buddy system also, is there's maybe some small things you don't feel comfortable maybe asking your boss or whatnot, right? Like don't hesitate, or you just need like a second pair of eyes on, or a second opinion about, or a sounding board, or just a point blank question you just don't know the answer to, or don't know where you can find the answer. Here, ask your buddy. And here's your buddies, right? Let's put it in PowerPoint for everybody. And I gave some thought to how I buddied them up too. I try to find like complementariness, and I felt good about how I paired them. And then if your buddy doesn't know, then you can raise it to SEs, raise it to the lead SE, and the CSMs, you can raise it to me. And that way, what the lead SE can do is, if they know, and if I know, either of us can teach both of you at the same time. So now both of you know, right? Because neither of you do. So let's teach you both, and that's a double win. It also saves me getting inundated with questions that if your buddy knows, then buddy can answer, and it's one less question I have to answer. And if buddy doesn't know, then I can teach you both at the same time. Boom, it's a double win. So that was one thing I implemented. The other thing I implemented was this like domain expertise, where I said, okay, all of you guys, I'm assigning something I want you to develop expertise in for our team. So one of you is renewals management. I've selected you because she's had great success with renewals. In fact, 2.5 years with us and hasn't had a single churn. She's about to, but it's not her fault, this one actually, but hasn't had any up till now, right? And another one is like, and then SEs, one is Zendesk, one is Salesforce, one is Dixa, one is Gorgeous. Freshdesk, right? And the idea here is that I want you guys to develop expertise in these domains. Let me use like and what in the CSM, one of them is analytics, one is operations, right, etc. Project management, customer documentation, employee onboarding. It's like all these different things for each of them. And I want you guys to take ownership of this. And I'm obviously tasking it to you, but there's reasons I picked these for them. Many of it is because like, one of these guys, he has a lot of Salesforce accounts. So you're going to be the Salesforce. One of them has a lot of Dixa accounts. Well, you're going to be the Dixa domain expert, etc. There's very good reasons for what I chose, but I chose them for them. And what I want to see is over the next 3 months, you guys really kind of own this domain. And then at the end, you really can, put yourself as Dixa lead, Salesforce lead, Freshdesk lead, right? Analytics lead, renewals lead on your LinkedIn's. I'm perfectly happy with that. You guys can all be leads. But I need to see from you before I commit to that, like you really take the lead on these domains and show expertise. And also with the rest of the team, if you come up against a question, even at the buddy level, and neither of you know, and let's say it's a Salesforce question, then go to the Salesforce domain expert. And if he doesn't know, then he really should know, and he should figure it out and develop his expertise, right? Yeah. So implemented that. Then, and there's that's in flight. There's elements there, play a little progress, more to update on that front. But this week already saw the benefits of the buddy system. This one of the CSM, she asked me a question, then I didn't even see the question when she asked the question. Then later she goes, never mind, I asked Anna and Anna showed me how. Amazing, right? And I didn't even see it until like 3 hours later. And this is part of the problem with them asking me all these questions. Is like I'm on call, still on now. That should change some, right? I don't even see their Slacks or get to their Slacks until like maybe 2 or 3 hours after they've sent the Slack, right? So this is a bad bottleneck, guys. Like I get back to you, but this is a bad bottleneck. And the beauty of that, I already saw, she asked me, then 30 minutes later, she said, never mind, I asked Anna, we figured it out, right? Perfect. Yeah, already paying dividends. It happened again later, right? Later in the week. And I'm like, oh, yay. Woohoo. And then this week, and then kind of, what was it? Thursday or Friday? Thursday, I think. Thursday, after I implemented that, I shared this Steve Jobs video with all of them. The one where he talks about kind of hiring people, right? And how good teams are like self-policing. And how Apple at one point, thinking they were going to become a big business, hired a lot of professional managers. And, yeah, they may be good at managing people, but they just didn't know how to do anything, right? And that didn't work out for them. And that's my philosophy as well, and that's why I kind of shared that video with them. One of which was because of the self-policing piece he referenced. I don't know if they got it or not, but like I really felt they spat out the last CSM and SC, the last two that left, right? One that was let go, one that was about to get let go, and extended the probationary period to give me time to find another. And she quit right shortly after extending the probationary period. But the teams spat both of those out. So there's that self-policing thing he cites, I think was very relevant, whether they made the connection or not. The other was the hiring professional manager, and they know that I'm committed to promoting from within. I'm not trying to bring outside management into the team. I don't think it would benefit the team. I do think there may be something to be said about, real proper professional management. I experienced the benefits of it in the VP that preceded me that I reported to. She was really good. She managed me incredibly well. She really was a professional manager. I really saw the value and benefits of one, but I still think we benefit more from somebody who knows how to do all the little things, right? Who knows DG inside and out, being in a leadership role, right? I'd much rather kind of build you up into the best possible manager, one that can manage, right? And that we can develop, and that, and also there has to be a natural, I think, inclination or like propensity for it. But also that you know shit and you can teach shit to everybody on the team, in and out. So that's my commit. And that again, kind of reference in the video. What else was referenced in that video? He was saying that real good people don't need management. And that's true too. Like real good people don't want to be micromanaged, but they do need like a vision, right? And then they'll go figure it out. If they're clear on the vision, leadership, he goes on and says like leadership is like really about like communicating that vision clearly, articulating it so people understand it. And then good people will then go and figure out how, to execute in line with that, kind of vision. And I believe in that too. But I've never really kind of communicated my team and team vision. So in sharing that video with them, I said, okay, next week, let's discuss team vision. And then this week we did that, right? I did that for them. So we had 30 minutes kind of talking about other stuff, team in general. And I said, I just want to carve out the last 30. I want to kind of speak to you guys about team vision. But the beginning, really what I led with was, can you guys tell me about some values you feel that the team embodies and that you feel the team already kind of represents? And it listed a lot of good things, great things. Love to hear it. And it's a kind of conversation I wouldn't have felt comfortable asking when those other two weaker people were around, because it sours like the thing, because it's all of a sudden makes it kind of untrue, right? Like if the team feels this one person's a dum-dum, then all of a sudden the moment you say, hey, we're really smart, it's like, well, everyone's like, well, not everybody, right? Like, and not that anyone said really smart, right? Even though we are, right? And they're also very humble, right? But yeah. So I finally felt comfortable having that kind of conversation. Went through all that, and then I went through mine with them. My visions as far as I don't want to bring in outside management. I want to promote from within. I'm even a stickler about the senior title. I feel like I might have lost a recent candidate just because I was refused to give her the senior title. I really believe senior titles earned within the company, not something you get because you think you're more experienced coming in. I'll give a strategic title to somebody that I think is like very experienced because they'll be managing strategic customers, but like senior, I think is sacred. It has to be earned from experience at the company. Other things like, hey, you guys, I've spelt out even this career progression kind of flow map I've shared with them in the past. Like that's my vision for where your careers could head and how this team can evolve into these different types of functions of like key accounts, community, partnerships, operations, professional services. Here's the paths, right, that you guys can take. And I also believe that the only path to career progression shouldn't be managing people. Like you should be able to be promoted without having to manage people. Right. So there is the technical track too. You can actually, get promoted, get paid more, get those title bumps without having to be in a position where you're forced to manage others. The titles are slightly different, granted, but like there's still career progression. The only progression here is not necessarily, management. The other thing I made clear is, and this is piggybacking off of like last week, is that there is my vision for the team is that everybody here can be leads in domains, so that's there can only be so many managers and team leads. That doesn't mean you guys can't be your own respective leads in all these different domains. And that to me is something I really want to focus on as a team to just make us stronger. And the domains I selected for you guys last week, is the starting point. But after we've accomplished that domain, let's move on to the next domain. And I'll even let you guys select, right? Not just what you guys say what you would like, because these were assigned, but next one, you guys tell me, right, what domain you kind of want to build expertise in. But let's start with what I've chosen for you and then move on to, I'd love to hear what you would like to do next, right, as a focus. Yeah. And then you could be the lead of all this shit, right? That's what you guys want, right? And we could just be a stronger team with clear kind of expertises. And that's part of my vision too. And then the values, and I rattled off the values. I'm getting kind of tired here right now, so I don't know if I'll go into depth about each and every one. But for me personally, like the first few I look for somebody who has heart, somebody who cares, Care is a key kind of word, right? Because it manifests itself in so many different ways. For instance, like cares about the quality of their work, cares about the customer, cares about their colleagues, the company. They care. And that's a big one for me. The other one is that they have that heart, right? The other is that they're smart. They have smarts. I mean, we're here to figure shit out. And I need to hire people I believe can figure things out. We are a startup at the end of the day. We're constantly figuring out new things. I'm not looking for people that are asking me how to do, it's not how I said it, but it's not how I mean it either. But like, there is an element of, but we don't have really good documentation. A lot of things are even new each and every time, right? I need to hire people that can figure things out. That said, if we figured something out, we need to be smarter as a team and like document that, right? So another person doesn't have to go and figure the same thing out again themselves. So that was the point I made. But we're here to figure things out. We need to be smart, hire smart people who can figure things out. But we as a team need to operate smarter. And once we figure something out, right, like document it so other people aren't stuck trying to figure out the same fucking thing that's already been figured out. And the other is hardworking. And I think DG actually rewards hard work really well. I think it's a great place for hard workers. I feel this. I've heard others say this. Like everyone works really hard, and hard workers want to be around other hard workers because nothing drags down a hard worker harder than a bunch of lazy fucktards around them, right? Making them feel like their hard work is a waste, or they want to be around other hard workers, and people work hard here. Also, DG really benefits hard work in the sense that we recognize it and value it, but also given the nature of our product, you put in the hard work, you really do have this instant gratification loop where you can see immediate results. You immediately see the coverage increase, or the accuracy improve, or the resolution rate increase, or the CSAT get better, or cost savings just constantly rising. There is this like nice kind of immediate feedback from your efforts that isn't true of a lot of companies and a lot of hard work, right? Then there's other things, I said those are the things I kind of look for, the key things up front. I feel like everybody already embodies. When people ask me about the culture of the company, that's what I cite. I don't go to, first of all, we don't have codified values, something that the exec team has like played around with and have like a draft of, but it's not official just yet. And it's not on our website or anything like this. It hasn't ever been communicated at large to the company wide at any point. It's still kind of a WIP, work in progress. Or not, or maybe it's what we have there drafted is perfectly fine. It's ready to go. I think there's a little bit more fine tuning there before prime time, but it's long story short, we haven't, kind of formalized, right, with the team what our company values are. But so what I always say when candidates ask me about the culture is always cite, I think everybody's, got a good, very smart, very hardworking, and they really care. They have good heart, right? I usually say they're very mindful or conscientious, or they just really care about the quality of their work, their colleagues, the customers. So that's how I explain our culture. And I also always throw in there that, their culture is really good. I mean, I worked at a lot of companies with a lot of great cultures, and I moved halfway around the world for this company and wouldn't have if it weren't for the people here. How I feel about them. And that's always a nice kicker, right? Like the proof is in the pudding sort of thing, right? Now, that said, I also explained them, look, everything else I'm about to say is not necessarily company values, but these are values I hold up in high esteem. I value and I look for in who I hire, and in who I keep on the team. I want to see these values. I think you guys do have these, and I think this is not sanctioned by the company, but this is, I don't need any kind of approval to define the values for my team. And for my team, it is autonomy, proactivity, accountability as a group, think these are all key. They're sort of synonymous, but not quite. And they have their distinct connotations and implications. But I'll say it once more: autonomy, proactivity, and accountability. And then I went kind of spell out what I mean by all of them. I'm not going to do that again here. I'm getting kind of tired. That's one grouping. The other is authenticity, integrity, and transparency. Again, very synonymous, but slightly different connotations. And I cited with the authenticity, an example of authenticity, as I think this company, we can really be authentic. And I use an example, like really through and through. And I use an example of, for instance, like I don't feel, given the company we work for, given the space we work in, given the customers we work with, and given the engagement model we have where we meet with them each week, I feel like you really can be unusually authentic in this company where you don't even have to put on your business voice. I was like, I think you guys all know what I mean by your business voice, and we all have our business voice. But I really feel like, DG don't need to have a business voice. I mean, not even with the customers so much. You meet with them each week. You really can be quite authentic. And even the culture DG has created and the space we're in, e-commerce, right? It's not an over formal kind of space. And I think, that's an example of like, just, you can even, I don't know why I went there with that, or even now here again, but there's so many other more important places where authenticity matters, right? But just a kind of tidbit, right? Authenticity, integrity, transparency. And transparency is a big one from the top down. I mean, from CEO down, transparency is a huge one for our company. We really are. He really is incredibly transparent, and it trickles down. And it's good for me too, because I'm very transparent also. I like it. And at the company, I think the employees really kind of acknowledge it and appreciate it. That's how transparent, company is from the top down. And then the last but not least is, resiliency and resourcefulness. I explained to them, guys, there's going to be ups and downs. I've been here 6 years. Don't think for a second that, my tenure here was just like this. It has been like this. It has even been like this for the company itself, right? Thankfully, in the last 3 years, it's been, like this, up and down, but up. But we just need to be resilient, right? We just need to be able to bounce back. I don't expect all of you to be, perfect week in and week out, but I really value kind of bouncing back. Because I'm not perfect week in and week out either. And there'll be long sustained periods of time where I'm just not on the ball, but I do believe I bounce back. And then resourcefulness. We're a startup. We just got to be resourceful. We got to figure it out. And those are my values, right? Kind of things. The first 3 are things I think I've always kind of said about the company. When people ask me about the company culture, I cite those 3 things. And the other things, those groupings, are things I really kind of selected as for my team. And some of those within those groupings are ones we've even used in the overall company values, right? So there is some ties there. And having said all that, I went over the value. We did this kind of value exercise where they told me what values they think the team represents. And there was a lot of alignment in what I actually then told them, with mine. And then we went over kind of like my vision as far as how I look to build a team. I look to promote from within, not bring in outside management. I look to create kind of a team of leads with all sorts of different domain expertise. I have vision for how your guys' careers can progress within the company, which is unusual for a startup to give, and it's not a guarantee, mind you. I can't guarantee shit. Who knows how the company will progress, but this is like a vision, right? A team, the vision I have for this is the vision I have for the team, and you guys pick what paths you kind of want to go down. There's a lot there. My kind of philosophies and stances, where I didn't go exactly, ironically, and I think I need to pick this thread up, not next week, because next week I'll be in New York. I guess I'll have to be the following. But what I didn't really get to is the real vision for what we do, right? Well, my vision for what next, right? Like, okay, this is new. This is how we're going to approach, the customers and kind of our engagement model, and that I didn't get to. I think that comes later. I start with the values, start with my philosophy on hiring, my philosophy on promoting, my philosophy on all that shit. And then next, let's talk kind of vision for execution of how we can be a world-class customer success service delivery team. And I think we are already, but how we can even, take it to the next level, because now we're approaching a whole new, it's a real inflection point for us. I've touched on this before. The things that have been working for us the last 2 years are not going to lead to any success going forward. We have to change things to get to that new level of success. And that vision piece that I need to present to them. And I've already done in pieces here and there, and therefore I just need to string it together when you get there. And I think they all responded really well. And I don't know, and then now today, finally, I told them, every one of the CSMs had to take me off at least one call, right? I was like, take me off this call, and add customer success, at DG to the invite, so the calls will still record, and remove me, so clear out my calendar. And today is the day. After 6 years. It'll be 6 years in like 19 days. I think I joined on like June 22nd. But after 6 years, finally, I'm in a kind of finally in that a proper like management position where I don't have to be on all these customer calls. Now I can really think like a manager, and I'm excited about what I'll come up with. It sounded very like egotistical, but I'm excited with what I'll come up with, given time, given mind space, given space, given like fucking space to think about these sort of things, and deliver, like, and put together and delegate and organize. Anyways, long story short, be happy, do good. I love you all.